Recorder.
Ja, ik kan er helemaal niet
Die rooi knoppie.
Yes. Nee, hij record.
Wow.
Het is tijd bezig om af te tellen.
Hallo ma. Heb je ook
Nee.
nog gezien?
Oh ja, hij telt op.
Ja, dat is goed dan.
Order. Thanks. I thank the leader of the opposition and call upon the Deputy Prime Minister.
So I'd like to start off by thanking closing opposition for giving us the rape statistics, because that's what today's debate is about. Okay, the fact that we're living in an age, and that is what Fragrance was telling you at the beginning of his speech, where more and more women are constantly being raped. I think he named that it was about 2 in a second. Okay, and we regret that fact. Okay, what we did was we tried and attributed it to a factor that changed from the previous century, where not as many women were raped, to what is happening in our century now. Okay, and why more women are constantly being raped within this century. What we said was, and that was what Fragrance was telling you in his feminist arguments, is the fact that more women are leading or dominating this female narrative. Okay, leading conversations, and we was like portraying within the psyche of this rapist, okay, why that would lead to him being more enraged and in that essence, and giving him this more of a benefit, or like more of this, like he'll enjoy it so much more to rape a woman if she's like so much more dominant in the conversation. That was what Fragrance's arguments was about. Okay. Now, before I get into my positive matter, I'd like to touch on 2 points of independent rebuttal. Okay. So first of all, we had this idea and this mischaracterization that we're against feminism, and this is not the truth. Okay. What Fragrance was telling you is that feminism, okay, leads to more women leading leading the social or this narrative. Okay. And what we were saying is that conversation directly translates into the relationship that you have with a man. Okay, and that power balance. Okay, and that's the reason why more men are resulting into rape. That was what Fragrance was telling you. But if you're saying that feminists, okay, feminism is the cause of more women getting raped, okay, then we'd like to say that we're not for feminism at all, okay, because if it's the cause, we don't feel that feminism is justified in giving a woman a larger salary at the cost of her being raped. So even in that instance, we're against it in that action, but that was not what Fragrance was saying, okay, so that was a mischaracterization. Secondly, I'd like to touch on this point of awareness, okay. They had a whole argument, and this was the largest part of like the speech that the first speaker gave us on this side of the house. This fact that we're increasing awareness and this will lead to a decrease in the rape statistic, okay? And we call bullshit on that, because I think there is a lot of awareness in the media, okay, and that isn't leading to rape statistics coming down. In fact, it's leading to it increasing, okay? First of all. Second of all, we say that awareness isn't leading a rapist to realize that rape is wrong, because I think off the cuff, people realize that rape is wrong, okay? That's why it is illegal, okay? So I don't think that is a cool argument, and I don't think like it translates to anything. Okay. That being said, I'd like to get on to my positive arguments, and I'm going to be bringing you 2 of them. First of all, I'm going to be telling you why men should lead this narrative, especially in the sense of rape. And then secondly, I'm going to look at this whole idea why you can't characterize a rapist as a normal person and tell us that what a normal person would feel would deter him from raping, would deter a rapist, okay? And that's going to be touching on what Fragrance told you in his first speech. Okay. So now, why we're disagreeing with OG, and this isn't the point why why women shouldn't lead this conversation, shouldn't lead to more awareness, is this whole idea that we need to realize that, and this is what Fragrance told you in the largest part of his speech, what is the psyche of a rapist, okay? It's a person who enjoys it when a woman is emotional, who enjoys the pain and the suffering of that woman underneath him when he's busy raping it. That's the reason why he rapes that woman in the first place. So the argument I'm bringing you is this whole idea that putting a woman on a stage and having her publicly, like, have announced that feeling of hatred, that feeling of emotion, that feeling of hurt before like millions of people, and having a rapist being able to see that, okay, we're saying that that'll put fuel to the fire, okay, because the fact is that person will enjoy it so much more and have so much more intention to do that because it's going to lead to him having more enjoyment. And if that translates, that awareness that you're speaking of translates into more women getting raped, we don't feel that this is progressive and should stand. Okay? Yeah. What we're saying rather, and this is the thing that we're bringing, and this is why I'm telling you that men should rather lead this narrative. Before I get into that.
Statistics show that most rapes are done by someone that you know and love.
Okay, so like the fact that that person knows the woman and like the fact that her dominance translates into their relationship, that was the point that I brought you. We regret the fact that there's a female dominance and that person feels that his masculinity is put on. Okay, we're saying the fact that he feels this relationship that he has with the woman, the fact that he isn't dominant in it, we regret the fact that the narrative is the cause of that and that it leads to women getting raped. So whether it's in a relationship with that person or whether like that person doesn't know the person at all and feels he has to rape her, we don't see how that benefits at all. Okay, so now This is what I'm going to say and why we feel that men should rather lead this discussion and this narrative. Okay? We're looking at the psyche of the rapist. This one who enjoys a woman suffering her emotion and her hatred. He enjoys her feeling powerless. Okay, and the fact that she's standing on stage and not causing the rapist to sit down and come down, that's going to make the woman look more powerless to that person. He's going to enjoy raping her so much more. Okay. Secondly, we feel that this person might feel that he's doing men a favor, okay, by raping a woman because he's contributing to them having this collective sort of dominance, okay. And we're saying that once you can put a woman on a stage and tell her to speak about rape, okay, you're fueling that fire, that passion for that man to go out and trying to progress this collective powerness and dominance of men. And then the third point I'd like to touch on is this whole idea that take into consideration that a rapist enjoys the fact that men should be more dominant over females, okay? Having a guy standing up, okay? I feel that it'll have a lot more of an impact on a rapist if there's a man standing up for women's rights, okay? Because he respects a man's right, he respects a man's dominance. So I feel that coming out of a man's mouth, a man standing up and say that we as men should collectively come together and not rape women, leading the discussion, leading the social narrative, okay? We feel that that will actually deter them from raping because if anything is going to stop that rapist, okay, we feel that a man will be the person to do that, not necessarily a woman who is portrayed as powerless. Yes?
Isn't your policy ultimately undermining the female sex?
So like, we're saying that we love feminism, okay? That's what I said at the beginning of my speech. We feel that men and women should be equal. What we're saying is, if it translates to men and women, or women having more power in the sense of a social narrative, okay? We see that that is damaging because that leads to women being raped. We're saying having equal power in the social narrative or in the discussion narrative, okay, when women have to lead the discussions, okay? And if that leads to rape, then we aren't for that. But we're not against feminism, okay? We're saying that if it doesn't translate to women getting raped, then we're for that and we're fine with that, okay? So like, then this whole idea of why we can't take a rapist as a normal person, okay? Because a regular person isn't going to join a woman in pain. He's going to realize that what he's doing is wrong if someone else tells him that, okay? And rapists don't realize that. So with the same fact that you have a backlash against BEE because of this reconciliation factor, you're going to have a backlash of this rapist because you're directly addressing this thing that is important to him, this thing that brings him enjoyment, this thing that is so socially or entrenched in him. And we feel that that backlash provides this type of urgency for that person to be so much more fired to rape and to be able to rape and to want to rape, to be able to protect that interest of him and to further this dominance. So what we're saying in this side of the house is the fact that if feminism leads to discussion and to relationships where women are the dominant factor, and this leads to women being raped, we're not for feminism and we're not for them leading the female narrative or the discussion narrative. Because at the end of the day, we don't want women being raped. We want to solve this issue, and this is not by this female narrative.